Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another of the ranking videos that I do on the BS Reviews channel. This video will be on all 5+ star matches in XWP. So, basically all the ones that the CWO have rated 5 stars and over in XWP, all of them ranked. Something I will point out before the actual ranking starts: these ranking videos, no script whatsoever, just going off by the top of my head. So anyway, with that, let's get on with the ranking. At number 16, Arrow versus Doggy Dog at Outlaw Season 2. This match, it wasn't a bad match. All these matches are great for the times. I was actually kind of surprised when I found out this was 5 stars. Like, when it first graded 5 stars, like, really? 5 stars? Okay. Because even then I was not really thinking it was 5 stars. But it was still a really good match. Arrow was the champion heading in. Doggy was the challenger. Arrow won the championship from Doggy at WrestleMania 1. And this was the blow-off to their rivalry that started when Doggy turned his back on Arrow mid-season 1. Arrow would end up winning the match off the Doggy style flapjack, Doggy Dog's own move. He beat him off of it. And then after the match, Victor X would debut for XWP, as well as Max Mercury, turning on Doggy Dog, who was also a member of X Bullet Club at the time. So that's the two feuds that would branch off from that Arrow Doggy Dog match. So it did accomplish quite a lot, even then I don't think it was 5 stars. Number 15, Angel Alexander, Stunning Brad, Mr. Macho versus Jake Naver, Connor, and Chris Danger. This was the first ever XWP 5-star match, and it features Connor. Remember that name? Connor? He was in a 5-star match. Crazy how all of them have went on and yeah, Chris Danger, yes, great. He's been a champion in XWP after that, YouTube champion and stuff. Jake Naver, been a hardcore champion. He's challenger for the IC title a bunch of times recently. Angel Alexander, Stunning Brad, Mr. Macho, all become world champions. Then there's Connor in the match. Crazy. And in fact, Connor does end up picking up an elimination in this match. It's a 6-man tag elimination match coming off a feud that started at SummerSlam when Angel Alexander won the Cruiserweight Championship from Jake Naver. It started off with Angel Alexander as a face, but he turned heel at Survivor Series in a match with Chris Danger, he won the match in shady ways. Stunning Brad and Mr. Macho helped him win. The Rumble was when Danger got injured, and then he came back on the Raw before WrestleMania, and yeah, Connor was also involved with it, leading to the 6-man tag, there's elimination for the Cruiserweight Championship and the Tag Team Championships. In the end, Connor would pick up an elimination. I think he'd eliminate Mr. Macho, and then I believe Connor eliminated Stunning Brad, Danger eliminated Macho, then Angel Alexander went on a roll eliminating Connor and Jake Naver, but then he couldn't defeat Chris Danger in the end. And so in the end, Jake Naver and Connor became the tag team champs. Chris Danger became the Cruiserweight champion. And it was a really good match. Definitely for the time, definitely the match of the night on that WrestleMania. And number 14, it's Stunning Brad versus Angel Alexander versus Mr. Macho, WrestleMania 2. This match had a lot of story going in it. Of course, as the previous match indicated, these three were a team. They were a team for a lot of Season 1 and into early Season 2. But then at, I believe it was Reckoning, Season 2, Stunning Brad turned on Angel Alexander, attacking him backstage. Mr. Macho didn't realize it at the time, and only we found out later on Mr. Macho was siding with Angel Alexander. So Mr. Macho, Angel Alexander were faces, Stunning Brad the heel. Brad came into the show as XWP champion as he won the Elimination Chamber match the previous month. Angel Alexander won the Royal Rumble, so he earned his opportunity for the title at WrestleMania. Mr. Macho earned the opportunity by defeating Angel Alexander at Danger Zone at the same night Stein Bad won the title. Also something to point out, there was tension between Angel and Macho because of that match, but also because Angel Alexander eliminated Mr. Macho in the Royal Rumble as well. So there's a bit of tension there. And in the end, Mr. Macho, after an incredible match, it was definitely a really good match. Like all of them are really good. Especially for this one, especially for the time and stuff, for these earlier ones. In the end, Macho would turn heel, low-blowing Angel Alexander when Angel had the match won, and then he would pin Stunning Brad, win the championship, and that would basically start Mr. Macho's run. That really, I was surprised, and even the person who owns the Mr. Macho call, he was surprised about just how popular Mr. Macho ended up becoming. He was so popular that I turned him face afterwards, simply because he was getting so popular after his XWP title reign. So this match accomplished a lot. And in the end, Mr. Macho won the match, WrestleMania 2, will hold it until SummerSlam C3 in a match we'll talk about a little bit later. Number 13, Brett Storm versus Matteo, Survivor Series Season 2. This is another match that has a long-standing story leading up to it. Started at WrestleMania 1. Matteo becomes the World Heavyweight Champion for the second time. Brett Storm, who just came back because the whole Morpheus thing that ended at WrestleMania 1 as well, when Morpheus to be in Max Mercury, he would turn heel. I would turn heel. I'll use it interchangeably. Me, Brett Storm, he. I'll use that interchangeably. I'd turn heel on Matteo, and then a feud would happen. Betrayal. Matteo would defeat Storm. At Mayhem, last man standing, ended in a no contest. Both men were knocked out. Then at SummerSlam, Brett Storm would defeat Matteo and become a two-time World Heavyweight Champion. This would lead to a final blow-off match at Survivor Series Season 2 between Brett Storm and Matteo. It was a big wild fight. It was a long fight. The main event. There was a false finish there, dusty finish. Matteo hits the super kick. Cover. 1, 2, 3. But I had the hand on the rope, so the match was not over just yet. And then that allowed Brett Storm to retain the heavyweight championship. But, and I mean, this is not technically counting into the match, but that was not the end of the night. Ali Khan would cash in Money in the Bank and win the championship. So after this big match, this great match with all the callbacks to the previous matches they had, Matty Khan comes out as the World Heavyweight Champion, leading to a triple threat between Storm, Matteo, and Matty Khan at WrestleMania. So yeah, another match where a lot of stuff came from that match. So once again, another great match. And, well, moving on. Number 12. Angel Alexander vs. Mr. Macho from the All-Star Tournament's second round. No, wait, first round. Yeah, it's from the first round. So, this is my least favorite Angel Alexander vs. Mr. Macho match. I even prefer the match they had on Raw, or on a Raw after SummerSlam or whatever. So, yeah. People know what I think about the All-Star Tournament. I think it was a bit of a failure. Yeah, because it was just too big and I just kept going with it. Feeling like I'd disappoint people by ending it. So yeah, it was just too big. Yeah, it was a failure in my opinion. This match was still really good, I guess, but I mean, in the end, Angel Alexander would win and move on in the tournament. I don't really have anything else to say about this. It was still really good, just it was the weakest of the Angel Alexander vs. Mr. Macho matches. So moving on. Number 11, Sean Avery vs. Angel Alexander from Survivor Series Season 3. This is also the weakest of a bunch of encounters, but it was definitely better than the Angel Alexander Mr. Match All-Star Tournament match. This was the weakest of the trilogy of matches that Sean Avery and Angel Alexander would have in XWP, but all of them were really good. In the end, Sean Avery would retain the championship over Angel Alexander after back and forth match. Sean Avery, who won the championship from Angel Alexander by cashing in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam, would actually injure Angel Alexander, just like how Angel Alexander injured Chris Danger at Royal Rumble Season 1. Something I don't think many people realize, but Sean Avery injured Angel Alexander's neck, just like Angel Alexander injured Chris Danger's neck. I guess that was more of just a coincidence, though. But yeah, that's how basically the match ended. Sean Avery picks up the win in this match, leading to a couple more matches down the line between Sean Avery and Angel Alexander, which obviously we'll talk about a bit later. Number 10 here. This is actually a surprising one. I was not expecting it to be this high. Sean Sokolov versus Rocky Crippler versus Brendan X. This was another one that I was surprised when I saw it got 5 stars. But looking back, yeah, it was actually a really good match. I was not expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be like in the teens. I was not expecting it to go dead last, but I was just expecting it to be in the teens. I was not expecting it to be like, whoa, it's actually really good. I don't remember it being this good. So yeah, Sean Sokolov, Rocky Crippler, Brendan X. Brendan X was the NXT champion, NXT World Champion now, going in. And Rocky Crippler, the former champion, had the Wolfpack behind him. Sean Sokolov, recently starting to make some noise with the Anarchy Gang as well, debuting as well. In the match, there was a bunch of triple threat sort of stuff there. One guy selling, other two fight. Some points where all 3 men were involved. It was a really good match. And then you had the Wolfpack interfering. Looked like Rocky Crippler going to become a 3-time champion. But no, Sean Sokolov Anarchy Gang comes out and takes out Brandon Wolf and Killer Kai. Allows Sean Sokolov to come in and become the champion. It was a really good start to Sean Sokolov's first title run. It was a really good match. A lot better than I was expecting it to be. Of course, by the fact that 9 others are better than this, yeah, there's 9 other 5-star matches that I feel better. But this was surprisingly high in my opinion. But it is still well deserving of that placement. Number 9, Sean taking on Jacob Cass from the All-Star Tournament, this one being in the 2nd round. So Jacob Cass defeated Josh P in the 1st round, Sean defeated Demon Spike in the 1st round. These two, in AWC, I believe they're united in some sort of faction. Jacob Cass wanted to prove himself though that, yeah, he's no walk in the park like Sean thought Demon Spike was, basically. Even though that match, Sean versus Demon Spike, it was back and forth. This match had a lot of back and forth action. It was just a really good match. It was, yeah. Like, I don't really remember much else about it because, of course, off the head just now, it's no scripture, but yeah. I did the ranking bit a while ago while I was thinking of the videos and stuff. But yeah, Sean versus Cass, yeah, really good match. Even, like, probably from the tournament, probably is one of the better matches overall from this tournament. Number 8, Shurikas of Professional Wrestling versus the Anarchy Gang versus High Voltage for the NXT Tag Team Championships at NXT TakeOver New York. This one, yeah, people, I don't think were expecting this. I remember Doggy Dog was particularly impressed with SDC and KU in the match. Probably because, if I remember correctly, they had a lot of stuff to do in the match where SDC and KU, they faced the Anarchy Gang, they faced High Voltage in the match. I believe all combinations were explored, but in particular, they had a long stretch where they were the ones doing the action before they ended up getting taken out, and Anarchy Gang, High Voltage had the match. It started off wild and crazy with lots of dives to the outside and stuff. Yeah, it was just a great match. In the end, the Shurikas of Professional Wrestling, SDC and KU, they would win the tag titles with a blind tag to Nate Slater, who hit the 630 onto, I believe, Jesse Rage. SDC had to do the hot tag, got the blind tag, ended up taking out Nate Slater, pin, 1, 2, 3. Shurikas win the titles, and yeah, it was just a really good match. Number 7, Sean Avery taking on Mr. Macho from Nightmares Season 3. This one, and of all the 5-star matches in Season 3, it's just the one that I forget the most, but it was still a really good match. Like, this was the one that basically solidified Mr. Macho as a babyface once again. Sean Avery, basically one of the better heels in XWP, simply because, like, after his title run, I don't really think turning him face suits him right now, because, well, he's great as a heel, and that allowed Mr. Macho to turn face off the back of Sean Avery being a great heel. And once again, the story with Sean Avery trying to injure Macho's neck in the end, like, it's not like Sean Avery's actually done previously in the Cruiserweight Championship ring. It's not a new thing in the XWP Championship ring he had. He did injure a bunch of guys in his Cruiserweight title ring, like Phenom, Victor X, Chris Danger. So yeah, it carried over into the XWP title run. He was going to injure Macho at the end. He ended up winning off a package pile driver on the exposed floor. Was going to injure him with the apron pile driver. Angel Alexander would make the save. And afterwards, Angel Alexander let Macho have the moment to himself, because he was saying how Macho had a great performance and stuff, solidifying Mr. Macho as a face. Macho would move on to win the Cruiserweight Championship, the Angel Avery stuff. They had the match Survivor Series, and then the matches we'll continue to talk about a little bit later. Number 6, Shawn vs. Anthony Payne from the All-Star Finals, Day 2. This was, as you can see, the best match from the whole All-Star tournament thing. It was not part of the tournament, it was part of the finals sort of thing. The shows are based around the final match of the tournament, Adam Alexander vs. Rocky N. Shawn vs. Shawn vs. Payne. This was for the AWC TWE Absolute Championship, one of 2 matches in XWP so far that's actually been for that 2 sets of championships. And yeah, it was another really good match. It was off the backing of both the Shawn vs. Anthony Payne match in the tournament, which Anthony Payne won, and also came off the back of the match where it was Shawn vs. Jacob Cass, because I don't know if if people realize, some of the spots that Cass fell for, Anthony Payne saw it, didn't fall for it. Anthony Payne didn't fall for the same stuff that Jacob Cass was. Also playing in the fact Jacob Cass, Anthony Payne, they were a team. So yeah, it was just lots of stuff in the match. It was a really good match. Something I don't know if people really noticed. Because a certain spot was kind of hard to really set up in their tournament match, I kind of used some of the stuff that was shown in their match in the tournament. Not gonna spoil it, but I reused some stuff, but it still works. But it was edited to make it seem not like that. But yeah, if you know what I was talking about there, well done, I suppose. You don't win anything, but yeah, good for you. You figured it out. But yeah, great match. best of the whole tournament thingy. Even though overall, my opinion, All-Star tournaments, nah, never again. Number 5, we're in the top 5 now. Angel Alexander versus Sean Avery. Now, this does say Outlaw, but yeah, we'll keep it. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. Sean Avery versus Angel Alexander from Outlaw. This was the final match of the trilogy, the most recent match on the list. In the end, it was Sean Avery won the Survivor Series match. Angel Alexander won one of the matches, one that we will get into a little bit later. And so they were 1-1. It was for the XWP Championship. Angel Alexander's second defense of the title on CBV, because he had a match was after turning a Backlash. But this was basically the first big test for Angel Alexander. The match against Sean Avery at Outlaw, 4-3 was the final score of this Iron Man match. There was a lot of stuff, lots of callbacks and stuff. In the end, karma came to collect the debt of Sean Avery, because Angel Alexander did what Sean Avery's done to so many people, the apron pile driver, to end the match. And in the end, it got 5 stars. Yeah, I felt good about that match, because I was worrying about, how am I going to do an Iron Man match? I knew that it'd be hard to do. It was. But in the end, it was great. And then number 4, Swed versus Jacob Cass and Anthony Payne, Psychopath, Season 3, Inside of Hell in a Cell. This came off another bunch of months pretty tag titles. Cass and Payne turned heel on Money in the Bank. Well, picked a poison, Swed won the championships. They retained their titles at Money in the Bank. Cass and Payne turned heel. SummerSlam, Extreme Rules tag team match. Jacob Cass and Anthony Payne defeating Swed. And that was a match where Francois had the fire extinguisher on Jacob Cass for a long time while Anthony Payne and Rocha were fighting and stuff. So yeah. This led to a Hell in a Cell match. Only the second ever Hell in a Cell match in XWP. There's only been 3. There was Morbius vs Max Mercury. There was Swed vs Anthony Payne and Jacob Cass. There was Sean Sokolov vs Doggy Dog. Those were the 3 Hell in a Cell matches in XWP history so far. Yeah. This one was the best one. And, well, there's just a lot to it. There was callbacks. Francois tried to bring the fire extinguisher out to the ringside, but no, there's limitations. You can't do that, Francois. He was trying to get into the cell because Cass and Payne locked him out of the cell. So it was a 2-on-1 for a lot of the match. The story was, how could Francois get back into the cell? Great story. And ended up having a really good match. In the end, Cass and Payne would retain the titles here for losing to Rebellion the next month for Nightmares. But yeah, great match between 2 teams that are just great. Cass and Payne, this was during their 2-year story where started off as rivals, then they went to teammates, then they went to rivals again, like that. It really launched Anthony Payne into being an upper mid carder / main eventer. Yeah, people really like Anthony Payne. Thanks to both the All-Star tournament work he had and the matches with Jacob Cass, the storyline there. Now we're in the top 3 here. 3. Angel Alexander versus Mr. Macho, SummerSlam, Season 3. This is the best Angel Alexander, Mr. Macho match. Coming off the aforementioned stuff with the Angel Alexander, Stanley Brad, Mr. Macho Triple Threat, Mania 2, Mr. Macho turning heel. I had all the story going before that. This was the finale of the Angel Alexander, Mr. Macho stuff, and the start of Sean Avery versus Angel Alexander, where Angel Alexander, he won the match, but Sean Avery cashed in before Angel Alexander could even touch the championship. So yeah, just A lot of story here. In the it was lots of spots, lots of back and forth. It was a really good match. Definitely the best match in XWP to that point. A bit of a spoiler: the next couple matches, next two matches are more recent ones. Best match in XWP to that point, and in the end, Angel Alexander wins with not one, not two, but 3 Rainmakers. He didn't pin off them, but he had 3 Rainmakers, and then off the third one, pinning them. 1, 2, 3. Angel Alexander wins. Sean Avery cashes in, leading to the trilogy of matches. And yeah, another great match. Number 2, Sean Sokolov versus Doggy Dog versus Tech versus Undershock, NXT TakeOver New York. This match was rated 5.25 stars. Originally, it was set to be 6 stars, which, like, when I found out, I was like, what? I did a match that could have been 6 stars. Now, even though it was brought down to 5.25, that just made me really happy, because yeah, like, it was that good of a match that people were considering it to be 6 stars. I don't ever try and get 6 stars. Yes, there has been times where I'll go and get 5 stars, but I never try to get 6 stars. So for a match to be better than 5 stars, even if personally, if a match is better than 5 stars, just put it 5 stars. You can't have 5.25 out of 5. That's not how things work. But some people, I don't really. If people get higher, think it's to go for higher than 5 stars, I'm fine. You do that, I just won't. I won't. If I was to rate stuff, I wouldn't go higher than 5 stars. But yeah, Sean Sokolov, Doggy Dog, Tech, Undershock. It was a great end to Sokolov's first title run. Doggy had business with Sokolov going back to TakeOver No Escape, where Doggy debuted in NXT after Sean Sokolov won the NXT Chamber match. Then they faced off in Pittsburgh. Sokolov turned heel thanks to the Anarchy Gang also interfering. Led to the Rumble, which Undershock would win. After Tech eliminating Doggy, Doggy attacked Tech. That helped Undershock be able to eliminate Tech. Led to Sokolov vs Undershock, take over Holland. Doggy vs Tech, take over Holland as well. Tech would defeat Doggy. Sokolov would defeat Undershock. Bear in mind, Doggy Dog was on a losing streak. He not won a match on a CPV since like Unforgiven Season 2 or something like that. Yeah, I think it was Unforgiven Season 2. That was his last CPV win. So that story was also in there. Tech has defeated Doggy. Undershock technically defeated Doggy with a Rumble win. Sokolov defeating Doggy. There's a lot of stuff there. Undershock and Sokolov had history there with the match to take over Holland. Tech had history with Undershock and with the Rumble win and stuff. There was a lot of story going into this 4-way, and it was really good. So close to the fact that it was really good at either of the 2 matches. If someone was to say, in fact, like all the 5 that are in the top 5, if someone was to say that's my favourite match, I wouldn't question it. All the 5 that are in the top 5 are really good. I wouldn't really say, okay, yeah, that's your favourite match. Yeah, I don't see why that. I don't see why people wouldn't think that. This match, like, there was lots of spots in it. Tech was a dominant monster throughout the match. Sokolov, horror strikes and stuff. Doggy Dog, trying to make sure that he does not lose once again. Undershock, the underdog, the extreme underdog, you could say. Coming up, is rising through the ranks. In the end, Anarchy Gang interfered. They took out Tech. The returning TJX came back, who was injured earlier on in the season. He came back, took out Mark Gunn and Jesse Rage. It looked like Undershock was going to win. 5-star frog splash. later renamed a 5.25 star frog splash for obvious reasons. He hits it, but then as he's selling, he turns round, doggy dog boot, doggy dog ends up picking up the win and the championship. It was a really good match. So close that I would have put it to number one. Like, yeah, it was so close to being number one. But in the end, number one, Angel Alexander versus Sean Avery, WrestleMania 3. A big part of this is simply because the story. The story in this match is just crazy. It started, basically, technically it started all the way, SummerSlam Season 1 is all connected, the Angel Alexander story, because the team with Stunning Brad and Mr. Macho, it came off the back of like stuff in SummerSlam Season 1 with Jake Neighbor feud and stuff. That, and Nightmare Season 1 when Brad and Macho debuted and stuff. That led all the way to SummerSlam Season 3 with Angel versus Macho. Avery won the championship from Angel Alexander, catching him in the back. Angel Alexander would, in fact, eliminate Sean Avery last at Royal Rumble Season 2. So there was that story there. And then leading into this match, the match of Survivor Series, which Avery won. Angel Alexander went to try and win the Rumble. Avery cost Angel the Rumble. Then both men went into separate chamber matches. Both came out victorious. Yes, those chamber matches were predictable because of the story, but that doesn't mean they're bad. They go into the chambers, separate chamber matches. Each man win, leading to this match. Basically, the high point, the peak of this rivalry between Angel Alexander and Sean Avery. The peak of Angel Alexander's chase for the XWP Championship. It was a back and forth match. Really good. There was the 630 and alley-oop facebuster thing. Angel Alexander grabs the ropes, gets the hands on his feet. Yeah, that's one that I laugh at. Everyone laughs at because that is idiotic of me to make that spot. It's just, yeah, that happened. But aside from that, it was a really good match, and the story leading into it, tons of story, so much was going into that match. And in the end, there was a false finish as well. Angel Alexander hits the Rainmaker cover, and then 1, 2, 3, Avery gets hand on the rope. But then, so the match restarted. It looks like, oh my, Avery actually might win this. But no, he doesn't. In the end, Angel Alexander manages to win. For some reason, Doggy Dog thought that Sean Avery should have won, which eventually the face needs to go over. Here he did. Angel Alexander wins the match in my favorite XWP match of all time, basically. My favorite XWP match of all time. The best XWP 5+ star match of all time. So, that's my opinion. What are your opinions on all 16 XWP 5-star matches? How would you rank them? Tell me in the comments below. This is quite a long video. I can see here it says 34 minutes, so thanks for joining me for this 34-minute plus video, and I'll see you all on the next one.